Top 10 Scariest Diseases, Unveiling Hidden Health Horrors. Welcome, viewers, to a chilling exploration of the top 10 scariest diseases. I'm your guide through this journey, and today, we'll uncover some of the lesser-known health horrors that lurk in the shadows. As we approach Halloween, don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. It's time to shed light on diseases that are not only frightening, but can have severe consequences. So, brace yourselves for a spine-tingling ride into the world of hidden health threats. Segment 1. Broncholithiasis, the silent lung stones. Our first stop on this haunting journey is broncholithiasis, also known as the silent lung stones. Picture this, living in the delta long enough, and your chest x-ray might reveal tiny calcified spots known as Memphis lung. These spots are the result of pulmonary histoplasmosis, a fungal infection, but occasionally something more sinister happens. When the fungal spores are captured by a lymph node, they can grow and calcify within, eventually eroding into nearby structures. Imagine coughing up stones, a bizarre experience that can even lead to life-threatening situations if they reach critical areas like the pulmonary artery. Segment 2. Syphilis, the great imitator. Moving on to our second frightful disease, we encounter syphilis, famously known as the great imitator. It begins innocently enough with a painless ulcer on intimate parts, only to vanish, deceiving its victims. Syphilis can morph through various stages, earning its name for its ability to affect nearly every system in unimaginable ways. I once cared for a gentleman who barked at anyone entering his room, behaving like a dog. A lumbar puncture revealed neurosyphilis. The great imitator indeed, causing irreversible effects that make it a truly terrifying experience. Segment 3. Leprosy, an ancient curse. Now, we delve into the ancient curse of Hansen's disease, commonly known as leprosy. This biblical affliction prefers cooler body parts, leading to nerve damage and amputation of facial features, fingers, and toes. Common in places like India and Brazil, the disease might be more widespread than reported, with contact with armadillos posing an additional risk. Leave those poor armadillos alone, as contact with these adorable creatures has been linked to some infections. Leprosy serves as a haunting reminder of ancient curses and their enduring impact. Segment 4. Tetanus, tense and foreboding. Prepare for our next chilling revelation, tetanus, a disease caused by soil bacteria that thrives without oxygen. Forget the rusty nails. It's the soil bacteria that pose the real threat. Deep wounds allow these bacteria to multiply, causing intense muscle spasms, from lockjaw to torturous arching of the head, neck, and spine known as opisthotonus. As horrifying as it sounds, tetanus is preventable with a simple booster vaccination every 10 years. So even that innocent kitchen knife cut can be a reminder to check if you're recent on your tetanus shot. Segment 5. Ebola and hemorrhagic fevers, understanding the outbreaks. Now, let's shift our focus to a group of diseases known as hemorrhagic fevers, with Ebola taking the spotlight. While I may not find Ebola scary personally, the severity of hemorrhagic fevers, including dengue, can be truly terrifying. Dengue, transmitted by mosquitoes, can range from typical fever and joint pain to bone marrow collapse and severe bleeding. Severity seems to depend on the dengue virus type, making it a game of chance for those affected. A vacation souvenir can take a dark turn if the wrong dengue virus type is encountered. Segment 6. Ebola and hemorrhagic fevers. Let's dive into Ebola and other hemorrhagic fevers. The group of diseases known as hemorrhagic fevers also includes dengue, commonly known as breakbone fever. Transmitted by mosquitoes, dengue symptoms range from typical fever and joint pain to severe bone marrow collapse and bleeding. The severity of symptoms appears to hinge on the specific dengue virus type encountered, a roll of the dice that can determine whether the infection leads to a milder or more severe form. A Caribbean vacation might bring one type, while a trip to Mexico could expose you to another, with potentially dire consequences. Segment 7. Smallpox, a historical menace. Let's turn our attention to smallpox, a disease with a dark history. Imagine a world where this deadly, highly contagious disease was widespread. Fortunately, through global efforts, smallpox has been nearly eliminated, but its potential resurgence remains a haunting prospect. Smallpox, transmitted by respiratory droplets, causes not only fever and pustules, but also risks like blindness, pneumonia, and severe inflammation. The eradication of smallpox was a monumental achievement, but a couple of test tubes with the virus remain, reminding us of the need for continued vigilance. Segment 8. Rabies, a deadly bite. Now let's explore rabies, a disease no longer confined to the pages of Southern Gothic tales. This viral infection, carried in the saliva of diseased animals, gives its victims a narrow window for treatment. Throat spasms and aggressive behavior mark the later stages, a horrifying transformation that echoes through literature, including Stephen King's Cujo. While rabies is still seen in some wild species, travelers encountering sickly animals face the greatest risk. Even the desire to help a sickly puppy can lead to a life-threatening situation. Remember, the fear of rabies is justified, and immediate medical attention is crucial. Segment 9. Mad cow disease. A modern health dilemma. A health dilemma I personally encountered during an outbreak in the United Kingdom. Caused by prions found in the brain and nervous tissue, mad cow disease raised concerns about contaminated beef products. Avoiding certain meats became essential to prevent potential exposure. Given the unknowns in ground beef composition, caution prevailed. Spongiform encephalitis, the disease caused by these prions, may not show up for years, turning the brain into a mushy mass. A stark reminder of the importance of monitoring our food sources. Segment 10. Flesh-eating bacteria. When a pimple turns deadly. Finally, we confront necrotizing fasciitis, the flesh-eating bacteria that can turn a seemingly harmless pimple into a life-threatening condition. Rapidly eating through skin and muscle, this poorly understood infection demands immediate and aggressive intervention. Imagine a pimple on your shoulder, innocuous at first but quickly turning into a nightmare of spreading redness and heat. Treatment involves life-saving fluids, IV antibiotics, and surgeries that can leave survivors disfigured. A stark reminder that even the smallest wounds can escalate into a medical emergency. Closing segment. As we conclude our exploration of the top 10 scariest diseases, remember that knowledge is our shield against these hidden health horrors. Share this video to spread awareness, and let's collectively face these chilling diseases. Seek medical attention promptly, stay informed about preventive measures, and thank you for joining us on this haunting journey. Subscribe for more enlightening content, and until next time, stay healthy and stay informed.